Hello there everybody, it is me XfreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're actually back with another apartment build. This time we are actually in San Myshuno, and I gotta say it is quite refreshing to not be doing another Japanese build in Mount Komorebi. As much as I love doing those, I really appreciated the change of scenery for this one. But yeah, today we are in 910 Medina Studios here in the Arts District of San Myshuno, and we are basically renovating this apartment over here. This is only my third apartment build, but I noticed that a lot of you really enjoy when I do these apartment renovations, so hopefully you enjoy this one. I am using a lot of the tool mod for this build, as you can see, and unfortunately a lot of what I'm doing right now isn't something that actually gets packaged with the apartment when I share it on the gallery. Honestly, it's one of those really frustrating things that really bugs me whenever I try to share an apartment on the gallery. It's just so clunky and complicated. Basically, the game just packages items that it wants, and some items don't get packaged, and because I used a lot of split leveling in this build using the platforms, it just made sharing this build on the gallery way more complicated. So I think what I'm actually going to do is probably save this as a lot instead of a room. We'll see. I'll figure it out. But as you can see, I am doing this loft technique, and full credits go to the Kalino for their tutorial on this technique, because I've been wanting to do this minimalist loft build for a while now, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work. But luckily a couple of days ago I stumbled on this tutorial by the Kalino. I will link it in the description, and yeah, they basically figured out that you don't actually need to have the bed sit on actual tiles. Like, you can have the bed floating in midair and the sim can still use it as long as it's next to a functional tile that your sim can get to. It's actually a really easy technique, and as you can see, by doing that, this build did end up being completely functional, and I'm really happy to say that. It blows my mind, but it totally works. There are a couple of things though that are disadvantages of using this technique. I think I'll elaborate that a little bit later on, but first of all, I just want to check on you guys. How are you all doing? We are towards the end of January already. It's crazy. A couple of days from now, the new expansion pack, or stuff pack, will be releasing, Sims 4 Paranormal. I'm really excited to get my hands on it. I still don't have any idea on what to build for that pack, but yeah, I'll come up with something. I'm really excited to try it out, mostly because of Bonehilda, which, if you don't know, she is an icon of the Sims franchise. We've had her since the very beginning, and I'm so happy that she's making a comeback. But actually, we're working on something that's very important right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. So basically, to make this apartment look like it's structurally sound, I did have to put those sized up shelves underneath the bed, so it would look like the bed itself actually has some supports. Now, At first, I placed those shelves towards the left side where the platform is, and for some reason that just blocked the Sim's path. So I had to attach the shelves to the other side, which thankfully didn't block the Sim's path. You can see me constantly testing this build with my Sim just to make sure that it was functional, and for the most part it was. I think my biggest problem with this build and this technique in general is that most of the items that you actually place under the bed end up not functional, unfortunately, and that's kind of a bummer because the kitchen is underneath the bed, and the kitchen I would say is semi-functional because you can still get food, you know, you can still feed your Sim, they won't die of hunger, but unfortunately the Sim actually can't cook on the kitchen itself. So the kitchen is more of a decorative aspect to this build. They can only get to the fridge and get some quick meals, and that's pretty much it. The stove, the sink, the dishwasher, the coffee maker, everything under the bed is basically not functional, which is kind of frustrating. I wish it was functional, but you know. But it's okay. I'm still really happy with how this build turned out, in case you can't tell. I really love this style. I feel like I haven't really gotten to showcase my real life experience as an architect that much. I feel like I need to leverage on that a little bit more and showcase that on the channel, because I feel like I have done quite a lot of cultural builds recently, but I haven't really gotten to showcase my personal aesthetic, and I gotta say, this is really it. This is so close to my personal aesthetic. Right now, I'm at that phase in my life where I'm just all for minimalism. I do not like clutter. I do not like a fussy mess because of my busy schedule. I just want to go home to a very clean, crisp room, and that makes me happy. Yeah. So anyway, as you can see here, I am rotating the shelves to, you know, make it look like the overhang has some supports. The cantilever, I love saying that word. Cantilever is such a buzzword for architects nowadays, by the way, because it's kind of it's a thing. It's kind of a trend. It's trendy to have a house with a cantilever, or just a building in general. So yeah. As you can see, I'm still constantly testing this build just to make sure that the Sim can in fact use it, and I wasn't about to spend like a dozen hours on this build only for it to not be functional. Just no, I want my builds to be functional. And here I actually found one of those cables from Journey to Batu. It's on the debug category. I wanted it because this build is so sparsely decorated, like there's very little decoration in terms of the furnishing, that I wanted some, like, you know, functional pieces to also serve as decoration. And I was like, you know what, let me just put an outlet with some wires. Unfortunately, as much as that looks really aesthetic behind the TV right there, it blocks the stairs, so I did have to remove it so that the Sim can actually go upstairs and have the bedroom functional. It's so frustrating because I really love that detail, but yeah, I had to delete that. Kind of a bummer though. Also, I'm putting one of these game consoles on the floor, which is something that I normally do, but unfortunately the game consoles don't work if you don't put them on the table. I don't know, they might have fixed that, but when I last tried it out, it doesn't work, so you might want to have to put it on this coffee table as well. But I think my favorite part of the living room is actually this painting, or poster, I should say. It's from Get Famous, and it's such a nice poster. I've been using that a lot in my recent builds, but I propped it up on the wall right here, and it's so good. It looks very art deco to me, looks very vintage, and I like how that poster also has a touch of red. I think it gives some color to this place without overwhelming it too much. I really love that art. Really love it. And in case you haven't noticed, this whole living area is on a split level. I love those little details actually, because it makes this place feel very architectural, because these kinds of details really excite me, and I just really love it. I am so happy that they added the platforms, because they just elevate the whole building process and give us so many options, and it's really amazing. And one thing that I did discover in this build is actually this door, this modern door. I don't know what pack it comes from. I'm gonna say it came with Snowy Escape. But this door, I've been using it a lot in this build as like a wall decoration. I don't know, I just like the look of it. It looks very aesthetic. It looks like some storage is behind it, if you get what I mean, but it's actually not functional. It's more of like a accent wall. And over here, Ceiling Gang is manifesting. That's all I'm gonna say, because I felt like I wanted to have a drop ceiling for this area, so I went ahead and did that with these shelves. These shelves are so handy, by the way. They're so handy when it comes to adding some architectural details, and they look so good. A lot of you have been asking me to talk more about what I do at work, and basically I can't really talk much because a lot of the things I do are pretty boring, to be honest. I mostly do floor plans, technical drawings, so you know, elevations and all of that, details, really boring stuff, and really repetitive as well. Sometimes it drives me crazy working 10 hours a day on a thing, and it's insane. But I'm glad that I get to go home to The Sims to get some of my creative juices flowing. Was that TMI? Maybe it was. But yeah, here I'm adding more appliances to the kitchen. Fortunately, most of them are not functional except for the fridge, but at least the fridge works. And speaking of not functional, the dining area isn't also functional, unfortunately. But you know, the sim can always eat in the sofa. That's my preferred place to eat anyway. Like, who uses the dining room unless you're entertaining? You know, unless you're having a nice dinner out with friends, dinner party at your house with friends, then yes, to dining rooms. But yeah, other than that, the bathroom is pretty straightforward. I did have to make room for a washer and dryer over there, and the bathroom layout was a bit of a struggle because it was a bit cramped for my liking, so I had to kind of play around with the layout until I get to the point where I was happy with it. So I kind of had to basically just try out different options. What's interesting about this bathroom though is that I did go for a primarily black color scheme for the plumbing fixtures, which is quite unusual. I don't think I do it often, but it's all because of that bathtub. It came with seasons. It's beautiful, by the way. The wood accent on the base of that bathtub, I thought really was a nice reference to, you know, the rest of the light wood textures that we use throughout this house or apartment. So yeah, I think it tied it all together really nicely. And plus, an all black bathroom is really chic in my opinion, and I should really do them more often. But here we're now working on the loft area. Everything to the right of the bed that we're placing right now is not functional. The sim cannot get there, but yeah, I just put it there for added decoration. And then luckily to the left of the bed, everything here is functional. Like, the sim can get to the bed even though it looks cramped. the sim will be able to get there. You will see me testing that, and you can see for yourself in the house tour as well. But yeah, we are just placing this mirror. I think this is the last thing I'm gonna put actually, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. Can't wait to showcase more of, you know, my aesthetic for you guys in future builds, and also can't wait to get my hands on Paranormal to see what that pack's all about. So please keep an eye out on that as well. But other than that, I think I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.